Hey, what's up? David here with After VideoFX and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be creating this energy orb effect using After Effects, and you can see I got it composite on this street. I got this footage from Andrew Kramer's electric effects tutorial, so I'll leave a link in the description for where you could download that. So yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at what we're creating. Okay, so let's get into it. So we're going to make a new comp, and we'll call this composite, full HD, 30 frames per second, make it 10 seconds long hit. Okay, now be sure to have your channel to 32 bits per channel because we're going to be adding quite a few glows on top of this, so just be sure to change that. Alright, so first thing we need to do is make our noise. So we're going to make a noise map, and we're going to add the fractal noise effect. Now I want to change this to dynamic progressive, and I'm just going to change some of the brightness and contrast settings here. I'm going to scale this up to maybe about 300, and I want to change the sub settings to sub rotation to more like an energy effect. So something like that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to double the complexity so we get more detail on this. Contrast and that brightness. Now I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to set this to screen, and I'm going to change this back down to maybe about 150, so half. And I'm just going to bring that brightness down and then contrast up a bit like that. Might even change the evolution a bit, and I'm going to change the sub rotation, so like that. Maybe a bit more on this side instead. Okay, now to finish it off, I'm going to add a unsharp mask to this, that we get some nice sharpness going on here. So you may not be able to see it, but it'll make a big difference to your look. And I'll just change the radius to 2, sorry. Okay, so once that's done, we can go ahead and pre-compose this. So we're going to go, actually before I pre-compose this, I might just change the contrast. It's looking a little too bright. I want it to be a little bit flat. Okay, so maybe change that a bit. Just bring up like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright, so Control-Shift-C, move all attributes. Call this, call it noise map. Now we need to make this seamless. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to add the polar coordinates effect. Turn that up. And then I'm going to add the linear wipe. And we'll change it to 0. And we'll just cut that off. We're only focusing on this top part here. So we'll feather out maybe like 60 pixels. And then we'll duplicate it. And we'll rotate this 180 degrees. Now I'm going to duplicate this. Shut all the effects off for this. And what I'm going to do is just draw a mask around this. Okay, so we've got this, and hit F, feather that out. Okay, so like that. And I might just drop match the color just a bit. Okay, like that. Now I'm going to make an adjustment layer, and I hit the offset effect. Now if I offset this, you can see we've got this line here, so I'm just going to keep going until it's in the center here. Oh. Now to fix this, I'm just going to draw a mask around it. Set this to subtract. Hit F, feather that out. Okay. So now we've got this completely seamless now. Okay, so now we can pre-compose all of this. So Control-Shift-C, and we'll call this noise texture. Hit OK. Alright, so first thing we need to do is add the CC sphere effect. Now we'll make this a 3D layer, and for the shading, we'll change the ambient to 100 and set all of these to 0. So we get nice, clean, even lighting on top of this. Okay, but if I add a camera, and if I start to rotate this, you can see it's acting as a plane. We don't want that. So to fix this, we're going to go into the rotation settings. I'll click the stopwatch and paste this expression. I'll leave the expression in the description below. Okay, and then we'll do the same for the Y. And we'll change from 0 to 1. And then we'll do the same for this one. Change from 0 to 2. Okay. Now, if I go right click, transform, auto orient towards camera, check this out. Now it's orienting as a sphere. Okay, good. That's what we want. Alright, so first thing I want to do is maybe change the radius to about 50. Okay. And then we'll get the tint effect on top. So maybe that. And then we'll get the VC color vibrance. We'll make this pink. Like that. Maybe drop that pink settings a bit. The brightness a bit as well. Just a touch. Okay, and we'll add the unsharp mask. Make it sharper. And we'll add the CC glass effect. Set this to none. And then just start playing with these settings here. So we can maybe change the displacement here. Maybe the height as well as a negative value. So we want to get this this nice energy effect. Okay, so that looks good. We'll hit Control D, and then we'll set these to screen. We'll set this one to screen as well. Now, what we're going to do is maybe make it a little bit bigger, and we'll change the settings here. So I might make it something like this. And then we'll rotate this a little bit. So we get some variation. And just play a little bit with this. Okay. And we'll duplicate this. And then we'll make this more of a bluish color. Like that. Maybe get that blue back in here. Now for this, I want this to be maybe a little bit bigger, 58, not too much. And then we'll just rotate this a little bit, maybe on the Z-axis as well. Okay, and what we're going to do is add a glow to this. So we can come here, add the glow. Put it before the CC glass effect. Turn down the threshold here. Turn down the intensity as well. All the way to 0.1 and just spread it out. Okay. And we might change the settings for this as well. Might make this really tight. I'll just make this a little bit bigger. Maybe 60. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to duplicate this. And then I'm going to make this about 300. And then what I'm going to do is change the surface setting. So maybe about bring the softness up. And bring the displacement down like that. Get this like organic effect happening here. And we'll add the curves adjustment. I want it to happen before the tint effect. So just bring this on top here. And I'm just going to bring that contrast down a bit. Make it a little bit flat. Like that. Okay. We'll spread that glow out. Make it a little bit lighter. Like that. Okay. So that's going to be overlaid like that. And I'll make a duplicate. And I'll set this to about 280. And bring that down. And we'll just rotate this a little bit. Give this a bit of variation. Set T. For this top one, just drop to 50%. Okay, and then we'll make one last duplicate for our second one. Put it maybe in between the two blue ones. And then we'll scale this up to about, see what it looks like for 250. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then turn off the CC glass effect. And we'll add the curves effect. Just want it to be before the tint. I'll just drop some of that contrast down. Just make this a little bit pop a bit by adding a bit of contrast. Add a bit of red. Take away some blue. So like that. Alright, so and then might just add a bit more red or pink to this. So that's basically what it looks like. So yeah. So now what we're going to do is just maybe add some particles to this. So Control Y, call this particles. Add particular. And just slide this across so that we can get some like that. And let's make the emitter to about 200. Get more particles. And particle settings, maybe just change the size to 3. And if we scroll down here to the particle color, we can go to overlife. And we'll set the preset to gradient ramp. We'll set the color to maybe pink. And we'll set the black to white. Okay. And then we go into physics, go into air, turbulence. We can affect the position. And we can maybe change the scale to about 15. Spherical mode, we'll make about 80. So we get this spherical here. Maybe we'll change to 60. Okay. And then we'll add a glow to this. So just add a glow. And we'll just spread that glow out a bit. Maybe about 20. Bring the intensity down. Maybe about 0.8. Like that. And I might just change this to about 150 instead. Okay, it's looking good. And I'll just change this to about 30. Spherical. Okay, and I'll drop this underneath. Maybe else like that. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So let's go ahead and just maybe add in our background here. So we'll set this to screen again. Add in our background. And Let's make it a 3D layer. Push it back in Z space. And then scale it up. Okay. And we'll add a new null object. Make it a 3D layer as well. And then I'll just connect all of these to this, so that when I move it, it will follow it. Like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and make this flare inside. So I'm going to make a new solid. Call this optical flare. Add the optical flares. You don't have to use optical flares. You can just change. You can just use the built-in flare plugin. Go into options. Now what I want to do is just solo the glows, all of this here, and we'll turn up the scale to about 200, like that. I might just change. Okay, like that. Hit OK, and I want to change the color to more of a pink color. Make a bit more red. Okay, and we'll set this to screen. Okay, put it underneath all of our, and just insert it right there, like that. Maybe turn the brightness up a bit as well. Okay, just zoom out here. Okay, like that. All right. So let's go ahead and just maybe add a displacement map. So Control Alt Y, and I'm going to add displacement map, and I'm going to pick the noise texture. And if you have a look, we're actually displacing it along. Okay, so that's what we want. So I might change this to 15 by 15. And I might just add an ellipse mask tool and just only select this area. Hit F, feather it out like that. And while we're at it, I may add a glow to this. So I might just spread that out, bring the intensity down, all the way down to 0, like that. And bring that threshold down. We'll maybe bring it up. Okay, and then Control D, spread that out even more. Make this about 200. Maybe 250. Okay, like that. Maybe do one more. We'll do like, just make crazy, like 750. Like that. Okay. We can even add a hue and saturation effect on top of this. Maybe get that saturation in. Like so. Okay. Maybe add like 3. Okay, and we'll call this displace / glow. Okay. And we'll add another adjustment layer. This is going to be our usual color correction. So I'll drop that down and add the curves adjustment. Just add a bit of contrast to this. Add in some red. Take away some blue. Like that. I'll put this on top of the curves. And we'll add a unsharp mask to this. We can even add just one more glow, and then we'll just drop that down, and then we'll spread that out to maybe like 300. And we might even make this A and B colors. So we'll make this like half blue and half pink. Like that. Okay. So looks pretty good. And we'll call it CC. And what I want to do is maybe just duplicate the street, add in like a mask around here, and just bump up the brightness, and then hit F, feather out maybe like 100 pixels, like that, so that we get a nice glow reflection. Okay, add in some red. Okay, like that. Take away some blue, like so. So that's what it looks like. Alright, so maybe we can even go into the noise map and add some evolution. So we can go time star, maybe let's go with 30, actually 50. And we can go for this one, time star 75. Okay, so we get some evolution happening. Okay. Alright, so let's just take a quick preview. Alright, let's check it out. Okay, it's not looking too bad. Okay, so first thing I noticed was the particles, because they're coming out of the orb. I wanted them to stay inside the orb. So I can fix that by just turning down the lifetime for these. So come over here, turn down the lifetime to maybe like 2 seconds. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And I want to increase maybe the brightness for my blue orb. So if we come over here, maybe I'll put this underneath the blue orb. Just solid this for a minute. Maybe hit T and just bring that up to 75%. And I'll just put a curse on top of that. Let's see what it looks like. So let's see here. So we get this nice blue orb being superimposed here. It's probably a good idea to actually name all these. So we'll call this blue outer orb. And then I might just add in some flicker to this. So I can just do that by doing wiggle. Maybe we can go twice per second, maybe about 10 pixels. So let's have a look at that. Okay, it's not looking too bad. Maybe make this about 50, and we'll double the flicker. Yep, looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and just maybe adjust my flare to about 120. That, and I might add some camera animation to this. So let's go ahead and hit A, P, and then just move forward and just camera orient this like that. Okay. Now I will have to scale up this. So hit S, scale it up to maybe about 150. Like that, maybe 155 just for, and then we can orient this a bit more. Okay, like that. Okay. Alright, let's just take a quick preview. Alright, let's check it out. Okay, it's not looking too bad. Might make a few minor adjustments. Just maybe the particles opacity maybe down to like, it's like 70%. And the color, I might drop that to 15%. Get that hue and saturation back. Brighten that hue and saturation up. And I might like change this to go a bit faster. So maybe like 150. And this one goes to 100. Okay. Like that. Okay. Okay, I might actually just zoom out. Make it a little bit further back. Like that. Okay. Other than that, guys, that's it for the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned interesting techniques that you can use for your own creations. As always, guys, please give a like if you like this video so people can find it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and be sure to hit that bell button to get the notifications. And comment down below if you have any questions. And I will see you in the next video.